Okay, now it's time to process our second form, which is the form with all the images, so that we can remove them or change the order. Okay, if we go back to our text editor, if you scroll down, you can see that together with this form, we've created a hidden field called update with the value go. So if we scroll right to the top, and right after our isSetID, let's type if isSet post update, and let's copy this post update equals go, then is when we're going to be actually processing this form. First of all, let's unset our post update because we don't need it for anything. Then we're going to create the remove variable, remove array, which will be empty. Another one will be update, also empty array. And confirmation variable, which equals false. Now, confirmation variable will be the message which is displayed above the form to confirm that our update has been executed successfully. To start with, it's going to be obviously false. We don't want anything to be displayed, so let's initiate this only right at the top. Okay, now our for each loop. This time it's going to look slightly differently. Post as key equals value. And inside of it, list key RID for record ID equals explode function, and we will be exploding by using the hash from the key. Okay, so what's basically happening here? First of all, we're going to be using list function to create two separate variables. First one called key and second one called RID for the record ID. Because the values sent through this post request will be actually joined with the hash symbol. As you may remember, if we scroll down, all our images, when it comes to you've got a label, remove hash and ID of the record. Then you've got also display order, hash, and ID of the record. So this is how we're going to be actually identifying the relevant records. So the explode function divides the specific string into as many into an array. Actually, creates an array out of it, and it does it by using actually the first character, and we're going to be using actually the hash here. So our key, which would be, for instance, remove hash an ID of the record, will be divided into remove will be as our key, and ID of the record will be passed into RID variable. So now that we know all this, let's create the if statement. If key equals remove and value equals RID, then array push, we're going to be putting to the remove array the record ID, so that we know which record we want to be removed. We can actually put int in brackets before this RID to make sure that it's definitely integer that it's passed to this array. Okay, else if our key equals display order, then we want to push the key to the array update, and we're going to be passing record ID dot hash value. Now I won't be explaining yet what's happening here. Well, basically we are passing record ID, hash, and then value joined together into the update array. But why are we doing this? I'm going to explain in just a minute. So basically that's what's happening here in this for each loop. So now we are ready to check if our remove array is empty. So if isn't empty, remove, that means there are some records to be removed. So for each, remove as file. And now we're going to be actually removing the files from the server physically, the images. So if is file, and now the path to our file, first we're gonna start with the thumbnail and then enlargement. So if file root path dot directory separator gallery path thumb dot directory separator dot get file name, the function which we'll create in a minute, and then we pass in the ID of the file. Okay. Then, okay, it doesn't look very well here. No, actually, it's not making any difference. Okay, I need to move it like that. It's gonna be better. Then, if we copy this whole thing, okay, then we're going to unlink, which is removing the file from the server, this file. Okay, so this is our first one. Now if we copy the whole thing, if statement, paste it right under. Okay, this time we don't want a thumbnail, this time we want to remove the large image. And that is basically everything to remove the file. Now we need to create this get file name function. So if we copy the name of the file, the name of the function, if we open our functions.php, scroll right to the bottom, okay, and after the last function, create a new one, function get file name, and we're going to be passing ID of the file. Let's copy the code from the previous function, from this get category name, for instance. Copy and paste inside of our new function. Now the select statement will be select image from images where ID equals ID. And obviously if we have if total records is more than 0, then we're going to return the name of it, so it's image rows image, otherwise return false. Okay, so our function's ready now. So this statement should execute and should remove all the images which are associated with this both of these images, actually large and the thumbnail, whenever we select the remove button there.